So my name's Evangeline. You can also call me Eva. So I'm an environmental science student at Bournemouth University and climate activist and of course member of Wiltshire Climate Alliance. And today I want to talk to you all about plastic-free bathroom swaps, and this seems to be a very popular topic. So these are all of my socials or lack thereof. So you can always email me at evangeline.rowe@hotmail.com. My LinkedIn is just Evangeline Rowe. My YouTube is Eva the Vegan. I've already put the link in the chat. And I now have a Facebook page, and I don't know whether you type in at Eva the Vegan or just Eva the Vegan, but it's all very, like, all the pictures of all the profile pictures for my YouTube and Facebook account are all the same, so that you can easily find me amongst all the other vegan Evas out there. So I didn't really know how to lay out this workshop, so I'm going to work down the body from the head. There's lots of things that we do in the bathroom, so I'll start at the head, and I do just want to start by saying that use what you already have first. Just use it all up. No harm in that. I was one of those people that just threw away everything as soon as I went vegan, and I super regret that. So don't do that. So first, with your hair, no matter if you have long or short hair, I've had conditioner bars, and I personally love a zero waste path. They're based in Cambridge. They make 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner bars, and they're just the best shampoo bars I've ever tried. They do it for different scalp types as well, which is really good. I did use bicarb and vinegar washes. So you put, a couple of tablespoons to about 500 ml of water of bicarb and vinegar in like a bottle, separate bottles. So one with bicarb, one with vinegar, same ratio. And you use that to wash your hair. I did that for about 1.5 years, worked really well, but again, I just needed something a bit more, hard, I guess. DIY dry shampoos are also really, really easy to make. So arrowroot powder and cacao powder. So you basically just mix arrowroot and cacao powder until you get the same color as your hair. And that could be your dry shampoo. I personally don't use dry shampoo because I still wash my hair quite a lot because I just exercise a lot. So I'll get smelly. So, and then using a wooden hairbrush and comb. Just be careful with hairbrushes, as a lot of the eco-friendly hairbrushes, their bristles are from animal hair, a lot of the time boar hair, so make sure it's plant bristles. I personally use a comb because I'm sure, like most people with thick hair, whenever you put a brush through, it just kind of breaks sometimes. So I use a wooden comb, and that works really, really well for me. You can also make your own DIY hairsprays. You can soak flax seeds to make hair gel, hair serums, hair masks like coconut oil. There's so many things out there. Just have a little Google of whatever you want, and I guarantee you'll find a DIY online. And hair bands. This is a little bit gross, and everyone laughs at me for this. I don't buy any hair bands because I pick them up off the street. Obviously not at the moment because of coronavirus, but the best place I found to find hair bands is in the swimming pool and changing rooms, and just give them a good wash and they're good to go. There's so many laying around, so yeah. Next is your face. So using solid face wash, I personally just use a natural bar of soap, but you can get solid face washes. I don't know any great cosmetics brands because I tend to just make things myself, but if you do, then definitely leave them in the chat now or later on, and so everyone can kind of get an idea of where to get good cosmetics. Homemade face masks are really great. If you make oat milk, then you can use the oat pulp and just put that on your face, let it dry out, and it's really nice. You can even use it in a bath, just use it as as a mask. I also make homemade face masks out of bentonite clay, a little bit of tea tree essential oil, and some water. Oil-based moisturizers are really great. You need to check the oil to make sure it doesn't clog pores, and I would highly recommend not putting too much on. A pea-size amount of oil is all you need, and make sure your skin is a little bit damp beforehand. It just helps it absorb rather than just sit on your skin and block your pores. So coconut oil for makeup removal. This is really, really good. I don't know if anyone's ever used this, rubbing like coconut oil to get your mascara off. It works really, really well. And again, you can make your own reusable cotton rounds to remove your makeup, or you can buy them. They're really easy. They're really easy to find online, buy them. And they're really great. You just shove them in the washing machine. They probably won't stay white forever, but nothing does. So, just got to put those aesthetics to one side. And then mica, I don't know if anyone knows much about mica. So mica is a mineral that's found in makeup, gives everything that kind of shininess, the eyeshadows and highlighters. It's mainly mined in like on the border of Bangladesh and India, and there's a lot of exploitation involved in the mining of mica. So natural mica is obviously mined, and synthetic mica is made. It's fake. Synthetic mica is much better than natural mica because there's not the exploitation involved. And I would really recommend, this is a YouTube video by Refinery29. It's called The Dark Secret Behind Your Favorite Makeup Products. And it talks all about mica and the impact of mica and the exploitation involved in mica. So just bear that in mind, you don't have to give up all sparkles. Just be mindful of where it comes from. And the same with all makeups, really, just making sure that the makeup that you buy is ecologically sound. Let's say it's made in a sustainable way and things are sourced in a sustainable way and there's not loads of rubbish in it. You can also make your own makeup. I personally love making my own makeup. I make my own mascara. I have made a video about that. I sadly had to stop using it after it like broke the container I've been using for years, and it was a very last minute purchase. I want to buy some more. And then there are balms and powders that you can also make yourself. Things like beetroot powder give a nice kind of pinky, purpley red. You can turn that into lipsticks, eyeshadows, blushes, honestly, whatever you want. You can find loads of stuff online. Obviously, if there's loads of really strange ingredients, I wouldn't recommend that. Just make sure that the ingredients you're putting in, you're happy with. And so you're not, you know, using loads of random stuff that could potentially harm you. Now for your mouth. This is the one everyone talks about. I think we've all heard of the bamboo toothbrush, and that is just the problem in my mind. Bamboo toothbrushes have become very popular and lots of people sell bamboo toothbrushes and they are not sustainable. So bamboo is sustainable, and brands like the Environmental Toothbrush and Geo Organics is sustainable. But all these brands you see with unbranded bamboo toothbrushes have not been grown in a sustainable way, have not been ethically manufactured or farmed or anything that, you know, grown in China, and there's been lots of exploitation involved in the growth and manufacture of those toothbrushes. And it's also worth remembering that the bristles of the plastic of the bamboo toothbrush even are not biodegradable, they are nylon. So when you are, you know, throwing or getting rid of your bamboo toothbrush, you know, putting it in your compost or whatever you do with it, make sure you use some pliers and pull out the bristles and put them in the landfill bin. Now, there are bioplastic toothbrushes. I find that bamboo toothbrushes that are ecologically sound and ethical are very expensive. So recently I've been trying out this brand called Eco. They're a German brand, and it's a bioplastic toothbrush, and you just pop off the top and you put a new top on, and the top is again nylon, but you just change the top rather than buying a whole nother toothbrush, which is really great, and it's much more affordable as well. So I did leave a link to them in my YouTube video as well. You can also get a kind of closed loop, not really. You can also get recyclable electric toothbrush heads, because there's no actual electronics in the electric toothbrush head. It's mainly just plastic components moving around. Brushed do replaceable recyclable heads, and so do Live Cocoa. You can send the heads, you usually buy like a pack of 4. You buy them, they come plastic free. I've tried the Live Cocoa ones, I haven't tried the brushed ones. My partner uses an electric toothbrush and they seem really good. You just collect the toothbrushes and then they will give you an address and you post them back to them and they'll recycle them and use them again. The Live Cocoa ones are all completely black. The bristles are nylon black, and the actual kind of toothbrush head is black plastic. If plastic is the same color, it makes it a lot easier to recycle. It's like colored plastics aren't as easy to recycle because then you get like this manky kind of brown look and no one wants to buy that. So, but it's really good that all of theirs are just like very plain, simple, gets recycled. Toothpaste, tooth tabs, or tooth powder. I feel like everyone else is. I personally use tooth powder. I make my own. I have used toothpaste, and I have used tooth tabs. It's all down to personal preference. There are so many brands selling them out there at the moment. To fluoride or not to fluoride, I kind of, again, I feel like it's personal preference. I'm not a dentist, but from what I understand, fluoride helps to build the enamel up on your teeth. And so it helps protect your teeth, but there is fluoride in the tap water in the UK. And I personally drink a lot of tap water, and I cook with tap water, and I feel like I definitely get enough tap water and have survived pretty well without fluoride. The only reason I don't use fluoride is because I make my own tooth powder and I don't know how to add it, nor do I want to fish out and pay to add it, kind of thing, or pay to buy a more sustainable option than my tooth powder, like a toothpaste or something. So this is my tooth powder recipe. It's just 1 part bentonite clay, 1 part bicarbonate of soda. Don't put any more than 1 part to 1 part kind of thing with the bicarb. You can even put, 2 tablespoons of bentonite clay to 1 tablespoon of bicarb if you want, completely up to you. And then you can either use essential oils, or if you don't want to be consuming essential oils, you can use dried ground mint. And this is really fun as well, especially if you grow your own mint. Biodegradable floss, again, be careful. A lot of biodegradable flosses tend to have silk in, or worse, silk. It was only kind of the last couple of years, I think, that it's been easy to get vegan, accessible, biodegradable floss, and geo-organics are great. And also, can we normalize not throwing away the floss after you've used it once, but washing it and then using it again? I don't see what the problem is. Some people may think I'm gross. I don't really care. But I've had the same tube of floss for about 2 years and I haven't had to buy a refill yet. So yes, but do floss, it's good for you. DIY mouthwash as well. There's loads of recipes out there. Or I think now you can buy dissolvable tabs that you dissolve in water and it turns into mouthwash, which is even better than buying those big plastic bottles. I know mouthwash is a lot more common in the States than it is in the UK. But if you use mouthwash, then definitely take to the internet. The internet has all the answers sometimes. Now for your body, okay, soaps and soap savers. So I prefer to buy my soaps locally. I like supporting local artisans that make soaps. I just find it really lovely. All nice different flavors, try new things. Soap savers are like little knitted bags that you put your soap, like when your soap gets really small and you can't really do anything with it, or when it breaks, your shampoo bars, whatever, shove them in the soap bag, and it's really good for exfoliating, and you can get the rest of the soap out. If not, you can melt down your soap in a double boiler on the hob, really easy, and then just melt it into a mold, like a little dish or something, and turn it into a new bar of soap. And yeah, I think you could even put it in a cookie cutter on like a plate or something. You could let it, yeah. So then for razors, this applies for everyone really. So I'll try and make it completely accessible for everyone for this. I personally don't shave my face, but my partner does, and he also has a safety razor. We both love our safety razors. Mine's almost 5 years old at this point, and the blades are super cheap. You can get about 100 blades for, I don't know, less than a tenner. They're really easy, but please, please, please do not put your safety razor blades in the bin. Don't. It's really dangerous for the people working at recycling facilities. They are recyclable, but you need to buy a razor blade disposal bin. They cost £5, but they hold a lot of blades, and they, again, are stainless steel, so they're the same material as the blade. And you just put all your blades, all your used blades, and I mean, it will take a long time to fill it up. So I feel like it's worth it considering how cheap the blades are, to fill up that bin. And then you can put it in your recycling bin and it will get recycled. Safety razors come in at about £20, like 15 to £20. Yeah, they're the kind of, I know there's loads of like fancy ones now, like the leaf razor. I personally use one like on the left here in this picture, just a very basic one. Some people say they cut themselves more. I'm very clumsy. Whenever I cut a piece of veg, I almost cut my finger off. So it's not unusual for me to be covered in cuts, but I don't find a difference, and my partner doesn't either. And I use soap personally for when I shave. I've never had a shaving cream or whatever, and my partner uses a refillable dish, and you order the refill and then you like wet a brush and then he uses that on his face. So yeah. And then sugaring is also a really great alternative. It's basically just sugar, water and lemon. You can make it on your hob in literally 15 minutes. I've made it quite a few times and I can never get the consistency of sugar wax. This is wax, by the way. Right, so I used to cut up old t-shirts and use them as like DIY wax strips, and they also worked really, really well. So that's a really good alternative. For exfoliants, dry brushes are great. Again, make sure they have plant bristles. Sugar scrubs, wonderful. Even better, coffee grounds, simply because there's no point wasting sugar if you haven't used it, whereas coffee grounds, you can use the coffee beforehand and use coffee grounds, and I do that at least once a week. I love using coffee grounds. Moisturizers, again, oils. I personally use olive oil, like I said, just a pea-sized amount for your face, similar to the rest of your body. Obviously, don't put olive oil on before you go in the sun because you'll just kind of fry, and that's really not good for your skin. Jojoba oil, I don't really know how to pronounce it. That's meant to be really good as well. Coconut oil as well, although coconut oil does not soak into your skin, so you just need a tiny amount. But yeah, but coconut oil does have really amazing properties because it's antifungal and antibacterial as well. So now sun cream, I just want to encourage people not to use a lot of the common active ingredients for sun cream. Obviously, sun cream and SPF is really, really important. So your health comes first. I personally make my own sun cream. I don't share that recipe simply because I think it's really important to look after your health, and I haven't had my sun cream tested. I'm taking the risk myself, but I know my body, and I measured it all out, so I know what kind of SPF mine's at, but I wouldn't give it to anyone else because then that's my responsibility, whereas I'm responsible for myself. So I use non-nano zinc oxide. Zinc oxide is the most environmentally friendly active ingredient for sun cream, and non-nano means that it's not small enough to basically soak in. So zinc oxide does have a kind of whitey, it leaves a little bit of white residue on your skin, but I feel like that's a lot better than all the health issues that come with not wearing any sun cream. And because it's non-nano, it doesn't soak in, so it will just wash off and you need to reapply it every couple of hours. But yeah, just wanted to mention that quick. If you're looking for a more sustainable sun cream, that is the active ingredient I would 100% recommend. So I would also recommend a water shaving shower head and tap attachment, and the classic, put a brick in your toilet and it won't use much water. Now for your bum, the best part. So toilet paper, there's bamboo toilet paper, there's recycled toilet paper, there's normal toilet paper. I personally use Who Gives a Crap toilet paper. I've been using them for about 2 years now. I've only bought 2 boxes from them because they last so long. This is a price comparison. So yeah, I spent a lot of time on Tesco's website. They have a lot of toilet rolls. So for Who Gives a Crap, it's 18.8p per 100 pieces of toilet paper. Tesco's own brand is 15p, and branded toilet papers were 30p plus. So although it may seem Who Gives a Crap more expensive to start with, these more sustainable ones, when you break it down to the actual cost, because they're usually double rolls, so they have twice as much on the roll than a normal toilet paper does. So it seems like each roll is more expensive, but it's not, because there's more sheets on the roll, if you kind of get where I'm going. And wet wipes, personally, I just don't understand. Just stop, just wet a flannel. Bidets, if you're lucky enough, just get a toilet attachment. You don't need to do any plumbing work or anything really for this. Well, you do need to attach it to the pipe so you can get some water, but you can even use bidets that will just work out of like a cup of water. And a bidet can save up to 50% of your toilet paper. It's just a really great alternative. I personally don't have one. Well, I do, but it's not attached because I'm in a rented property and I can't attach it, which is really sad. But if you do have the option, definitely do. It's also much cleaner, much cleaner. And then there's family cloth for anyone who's wanting to be really brave and really make their friends and family uncomfortable when they come over and use their bathroom. Family cloth is essentially reusable toilet paper, And apparently flannel is the best material to make it from. So get some secondhand flannel. You can make it yourself, definitely more than one layer. So if you need to do a bit of sewing, or you can even buy it, I'm sure, somewhere. But I prefer making things myself, if you hadn't already noticed. But family cloth is a great alternative if you want to eliminate single-use papers like toilet paper altogether. And then reusable nappies and period products. I haven't talked about nappies because I don't have children, nor do I really know anyone who has children that use reusable nappies. But I've talked about period products, so you can go check out that workshop and that video. And then the good old saying, maybe it's not that old, maybe it's not that well known, if it's yellow, let it mellow. And that may be uncomfortable for some people, but it's definitely good. You know, if you're drinking enough water, then your wee isn't bright yellow all the time. And, you know, just close the lid, don't flush every time. Obviously, if it's not yellow, then flush. But, you know, just, you know, you're living with people, you know them well enough. I feel like they wouldn't be that offended. And just something you can talk to your family members about, like, oh, maybe every 2 weeks you flush, just to save on a little bit of water. So thank you so much for listening. I really hope you enjoyed it. And now I'll answer all of your questions.